Good. Okay, so this is Pilates 2, and our focus is about listening to your body. So this isn't about being the most bendy, the most lithe, the most supple. This is about what can my body do for me and how can I improve my body's movements. And we like to start with belly breath. And that is getting the belly to rise and fall and giving yourself a moment. This is how we like to start the day. Stress plays a significant part of our health and well-being. From there, roll onto your side, and we're coming up into a seated position. So we're kind of starting, if you like. Okay, so feet nice and wide. Lovely, and we're sat up. And the first thing I want you to do is just kind of shift side to side, bum cheek to bum cheek, just a little wiggle jiggle. This might be a little circle. So Jane, we're sat up now, love. Okay, lovely. Feet slightly wider. Arms nice and wide. Jane was just quite happy just lying there. Okay, arms nice and wide. And we're just kind of circling and you know, like we would when we're planting feet and moving around the edges of the foot. Now I want you to move around the edges of the hips and bottom, front, back and sides. Lovely. So it's just creating that circular movement, getting some mobility around the hips, and also being aware of what's going on with your knees and thighs. So relaxing your knees if you can, because we're holding tension through our thighs. Nice and tall, long and lifted. Take a breath in, and opposite hand will stretch forward to the opposite shin or ankle. Rise up, breath in, exhale and switch sides. So straight away we're going into back release stretches. There is a cow that has just arrived on screen. I've just watched a husband lift up a cow and plant it behind one of our lovely clients. Lovely. Okay, so this is stretching out the back, stretching out the hamstrings. Feel the release of the thighs. So try and let go of the tension on your thighs. Let the knees relax if you can. And what I'm hoping that this is starting to feel better each time. Maybe you're going deeper, or maybe you're taking the stretch wider. So just have a little think about your body. So this is you listening to you. Well done. And from here, bend the knees, hook them round to one side. We're doing our favourite knee drop, and I think this is important to us because there's lots of variations of this. So the idea is 90-90, start with your hands behind you if you want to, lifting the knees and dropping them over side to side. Now listen to your body. Feet as wide as you can. Can you do it without hands? Slow it down. Honestly, you really don't need to rush it if you don't want to. Okay, and then also, what if we stretched out? So when we reach one side, we start to twist further behind us. So you could lay the chest towards the floor or just lean. So again, this is about that mobility and really the waistline. And yeah, you're going to travel. Okay, we've got cat pilates going on as well in the session today, which is lovely. So this is our first, like a starting place, where it's really about our mobility. And it's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be up, down and moving around. It's not supposed to be flowing as such. This is not a ballet class. Well done, last time. And that should prime and set your knees, because we're coming over into a pigeon pose. We introduced this previously. I really want you to have a lovely little play here. The idea is the front knee is bent, the back leg long, and your weight on the back thigh and knee. This isn't for everyone. If this is too much, you just come down onto your hip on the side, just like Pat's demonstrated. move. So have a little wiggle jiggle here. Take your time with this. So it will feel quite stressful around the knee joint when you start. If you want to go deeper, that front foot comes out towards the side edge of your mat. You will always feel, if you're not used to that sensation, you will feel like something's going to dislocate or break there. Okay. And now I want you to take a long breath in, exhale, and just lengthen your body. Go flat, get your chest down towards the ground, back leg long. And this is my favourite bit. Curl back toes under back heel, squeeze back thigh, lift back knee, push forehead down towards the ground. Come back and settle. Have a little wiggle jiggle and then come forward. So the idea behind here, some of you will feel quite a deep hip stretch going on. Lovely. Let's do this one more time. And then we switch sides. So firstly, play with it. So modified pigeon pose. So we're thinking about front knee, back leg, wiggle, jiggle. You come off the side of your hip. You allow your whole body to transfer weight side to side. Play with it. And to find those sweet spots, those bits that kind of go, oh, I kind of like it there, because I'm really getting to scratch that itch, if you like. If you want to create some more depth, start to bring that front leg more in line with the side of your mat. Again, that will always feel strong around the knee joint. The hip and knee, once we're able to do this. Lovely. And when you're ready, start to bring your chest towards the floor. Choose whether you want to stretch your arms out forward. Use your breath. So think about, I just want to let go. I'm listening to my body and I'm holding tension here. I just need to let it go. If you want to, start to curl your back toe under your heel. Squeeze the back thigh, lift the back knee, and then start to bring your forehead down onto the ground. Enjoy how that feels in your hips. Well done. Lovely. Let's do that one more time and then we're coming into a kneeling position. Lovely. Okay, this is interesting because we set this program and it is designed for midlife and it is about messy movement for midlife. So this next pose is called kneeling something or other, bow and arrow. Kneeling something or other. Do you know why? Because the menopausal me and Pat couldn't remember what name we'd given this exercise. So we're up on our knees to start with. Okay, this isn't for everyone. So firstly, if you want to just fold your mat under your knees, you've got a bit more support so your knees don't feel like they're being battered. Lovely. Okay, and there's two options here, flat feet or toes under heels. Okay, and what we're going to do is just create some rotation here. So bow and arrow, it's not about what the back arm's doing, it's what the front arm is reaching towards. So as you lean back, you send your front arm forward and you'll feel this feels beautiful in the chest and the rotators. Now, the more you practice this, this is about also coordinating, leaning back as well, squeezing through the buttocks. So you've got more support in the movement. Lovely. If you want to open the arms, so you've got a big wide space between front hand and back hand, you can, and add a lean, because all of that is just changing gravity and it's stimulating the core to fire up. Lovely. It's all about finding things that work for you. Now, this can be performed in standing. I like the rock forward and back on this one. And I like how that feels along the shin. Finding your sweet spot. Lovely. Take your hands to the floor. Curl your toes under your heels. We lift up into down dog. So the tail is being lifted. Lovely. And we're going for a little walk. So just pump those heels. You know how much we love heel pumping. Excuse me. Okay, so this is really about the hip work now. So just enjoy the stretch in the hips as you wiggle jiggle, and listen to your body as you feel the tension leaving around the side of the ribs and your armpits. So again, there's no rush here. Take your time. Find those sweet spots. Slow it down, Chris. Lovely. When you're ready, we are going to rise. So you're going to walk your hands back to your knees or back to your feet. So you're walking backwards. Lovely. Good, 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 good. Your back leg furthest away from us, is the leg that takes a long lunge forward. Big fat step forward. Lovely. And then come back, because we're coming into, it's like a warrior two. So we're coming out. So sorry, let's start that again. Turn side on your mats to me. And then take one leg out to the side, that big step. Okay, and then come back. Let's repeat that 2 or 3 times, because I want you to feel comfortable with that stepping out. So you step out, be conscious of the moving leg and how the foot lands. Lovely. 2 or 3 more times. So this is, again, brain talking to body. What can you do? You're okay, you're safe. Last time, and then I want you to set yourself into a warrior two pose. So, and I think that's where we use the language that makes it sound yoga-y, and that was not our intention. What I want you to do here is be conscious of the chest and shoulders. So I want you to physically twist away from your center and then reset in your center. So this is just about movement through, so nice and stabilizing through your standing strong legs, and a little bit of a rotation through your trunk each time. So this is the sacroiliac joints. This is where your spine is coming into your pelvis. Can you create depth? Can you put pressure into the outside toe of the leading leg? Making sure your nose, the center of your sternum, and your belly button line up. And just have a little play with that side to side. Is that too much for you there, Sue? Are you okay? Well done. Take your hands up and overhead, down into your heart space, arms out wide, shift feet, bring one foot back to the other. Boom. So we're now on the other side. Okay, so here we go. Big lunge and back again. Just practice this. Lovely. So this is about standing strong. We need the legs to take big, fat, wide steps. And we need the brain to tell us it's okay to do these moves. Lovely. That we don't fear hurting the ankles. That we're okay around the knee joint. And the knee is designed to do all this movement. Lovely. One more time, and then we're going to settle into a big, fat, wide stance. Lovely. Stance. Okay, and again, set your arms, so relax your shoulders, set your arms, neck nice and long, and just a little twist in one direction, and then center yourself. Twist in the other direction and center yourself. Think about depth. Can you go deeper in the legs? Do you need to increase the space between front foot and back foot? What feels nice? Work through it. Lovely. Yeah, it's quite strong. It can be quite strong. Think about your foot placement. Think about that front knee as well. So making sure it just starts to turn outwards rather than letting the knee collapse inwards. Give me 1 or 2 more of those. Lovely. And then step back in and center in your mat. What I want us to do is to absolutely 100% squeeze your thighs and knees together. Okay, so it's like a scoop and a rock. So I like this because your bum comes into play here. It feels a bit like a body roll and you feel a bit like jelly. That is the sound that goes with this movement. Lovely. So you should feel quite a big load coming up on your thighs when you perform that move, right? So try and keep the knees together if you can. And this time up and hold, so the heels are lifted. Now I want you to send the bum backwards, rise up through the arms, so the arms go long, and it's almost like a chair pose, and start to sink. Okay, hold it, heels are lifted. Rise up, heels down, and again. Rock and roll, do the blub, 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 blub.
That was a hairy eyeball.
Was it? Was it not? That's quite strong, isn't it? Right, okay. Up and hold. Bend the knees, keep your thighs together. So challenge your balance here, guys. If this is too much, too intense, wider stance. Arms optional, sit nice and low. Keep the knees together. Can you try and smile and breathe? There you go, good girls. And then release and give yourself a little shaky, shaky. So we're not done with the standing strong. We do need to do some one leg balance. Okay, so we're in the top third of the mat. Third. There you go, lovely. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do some leaning and create some starfish shapes, okay? This is important because I'm challenging the hip here and I'm challenging the pelvis. So what I'm looking for is take your weight into your center leg. Okay, other leg starts to drift out, arms come into play. Now to start with, eye gaze to me, open the chest and try and keep the hips square on. There you go, lovely. And then close it. Okay, let's do that again. So we're going to do this a few times. See, it's a bit of a flow. No one likes this stuff, by the way. Lovely. And repeat that. I want you to feel unstable. I don't want this to be beautiful. This isn't a yoga class. This is about movement and really getting that power. So you'll feel the ankles move. You'll feel the knee joint move. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. And to change the emphasis now, the lifted leg, flex the foot. Okay, now start to turn to face the floor and then come back. That's it. So there's a little rotation. There's a lot of effort around the hip joint. So if you want to keep your toe on the floor throughout the rotation, you can. If you want to lift the leg and flex the foot, you can. But find the thing that works for you, okay? And you will go woo, and you will lose your balance. We want to challenge that bit, the bit where you kind of go, how far can I go before I fall? That's what I'm looking for. Well done. You all right there? And now we change sides. Well done, everyone. Okay. So just find your power first. Stand tall through that supporting leg. Long and lifted. We're tall through the collarbone. Talk to yourself. This is you listening to yourself. We're tall. I'm thinking about my posture. I'm thinking about my center as I start to lean. Everything's square on. And I'm thinking, I've got this. And I'm going to practice this a few more times. Don't rush it. We need this slow. We need some control with the movement. I need to challenge your balance here. Beautiful. Okay, and now we start to think about adding in. So flexing the back foot and looking at a little rotation. Recognizing one side, totally nailed it. The other side, not so sure. And it's okay. So what I don't want you to do is get mad. It's important here that you feel relaxed in your movements. Don't get mad. When you get mad, what happens? It increases the stress hormones in your body. Nice, and it's good because what I'm seeing here, many of you on the Zoom are going whoop and almost falling out of it. That is good. We encourage that movement. That's completely lovely. Last time, and that's showing me that you are really pushing your edges. Well done. relax, release. Okay, so give yourself a moment. I'm going to let Pat demonstrate because we're coming to the wall now, and Pat's going to be face onto the wall and her feet are wide in a sumo. So if you do it just face to me first, Pat. So feet wide, toes turned out a lot. And the reason being, when she's in this position, as she bends the knees, her arms along, she's going to slide down the wall and back up again. That's it, that's the movement. So she's sliding, and my husband used to call this slug position, as many points of contact on the wall as possible. So let's get to a wall and find it, and you'll notice your own imbalances here. Okay, so the idea is the closer your feet are to the wall, the more intense this is. You lower down as best you can and leave those arms nice and long. Feel the stretch through the upper body, feel the stretch through the armpits. And my challenge to you would step closer to the wall and almost slide your boobs down the wall. Lovely, because you really feel, it's called a butt wink. I love that. Elaine, you're looking good, love. Okay, it's called a butt wink. There will be a point where you kind of feel the bum shift there. So keeping it long, that's it, lovely. It's a bit of a weird one. Yeah, and modify. No one's perfect, right? You have to do the thing that works for you. This just engages your chest. It will bring in your thighs, the whole body is working. And we're using the wall, I know, I can see you shaking out there. We're using the wall to support you here. Last time. From here, leave your hands at hip height on the wall and step back, 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 back. So we're hinging through the hips. Lovely. And what I'm actually looking for is a long line. That's lovely. Okay. So from here, roll toe to heel. Just come forward and back. No, not bend the knees. Just allow the butt to come back. Straighten off the legs. And then just shift your weight heels to toes. So literally as you are. But just feel the whole of the foot. So there's a rock side to side. Feel pressure in the ball of your feet, pressure in the heels. How does that feel behind the knees? And all this time, you're actually stretching out through your shoulders. Okay, now we bring in the legs. So the hips stay square on. Leg closest to me lifts backwards, straight leg. Head down if you can. Lovely. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so from here, we're going to do tiny pulses upwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Higher, higher, lovely. Bring the knee into chest, round up through the back. Enjoy that. And repeat. Same side, same side. Up and tiny weeny little presses. So if your toes are starting to turn to me or your knees are starting to turn to me, that's telling me that you're opening your hips. Do your 10. That leg, knee to chest, so there's your first bit, so that's your stretch out, knee to chest as you were, Pat. Lovely. Now that leg crosses behind the other leg and put it on the floor. Okay, you're welcome. Work with that stretch. So you've literally crossed your feet over and you're wiggle jiggling right to left and you're enjoying that, right? How does that feel? Give me a thumbs up, everyone. Oh yeah, hello booty. Okay, other side. That was just for you, Annie. Okay, so if you need to stand up and give yourself a moment, that's fine. Hands to wall, step back, back, back. Enjoy the stretch through the back. Think about ears line up with shoulders. Lovely. And then again, feel the pressure in the feet. Where is it? Listen to your body. What is your body telling you about this movement? Breath in. On the next breath out, back leg lifts, keeping the hips nice and square on, and we do 10 little pulses upwards. Straight knee if you can. So this is about the gluteals. We're targeting into the butt muscles. Bring the nose to knee, round up through the back, and then repeat that. So up and 10 little pulses. Here we go. Lovely. Well done. Nose to knee, give yourself a little snuggle there, and then that back leg crosses. Lovely, and all nice and cushed in, and now you feel lush, right? So a little wiggle jiggle, right to left, beautiful. Okay, so rise out of that, please. We're thinking about how we get back to the floor. So we're going to start with some curtsy squats. You okay? How do your back feel? Good? Wiggle jiggle, free it off. Smile in for camera. Lovely, good. Okay, curtsy squats, what do they look like? Think about the Queen. Think about a curtsy when you were a little girl, right? Let's just do that. Lovely. Our arms, gorgeous. Now, play with this, please. I'd like you to just alternate the legs, but do not rush this. Take your time. Annie, give me a thumbs up that you're okay. Right, good, 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 good. So I want you to feel this yourself. Listen, Jane, you all right? It's not one of your favourites, right? Gotcha. The nice thing about this does target the smaller muscles around the bottom and the hips. You're getting release work here from the outside of the hip. Take your time, find the thing that works for you, okay? So it might be some of you prefer closer positioning when you cross the leg backwards. Some of you might want to pop that back knee down on the ground. That might just happen accidentally. And be okay with it. Honestly, this is not about, honestly, I really desperately want you to just value this movement. And it's gonna be messy because, you know, I'm asking you to do something a lot of times here. And there's the huge connect between mind and body here. So brain doesn't like this, and it's talking you off the edge all the time, going, I don't like it, makes my body feel safe, unsafe, and your body's going, but I can do it, brain. Lovely. Last time. Well done. And it's always a surprise, isn't it? When you get down there, you're like, woo woo, brilliant. Okay, take a breath in, roll down your spine and dangle there for a moment. Lovely. When you're here, I want you to walk, just move from side to side. So let your hands just flop and dangle around the outside edges of the feet and enjoy that stretch in the back, in the hips. And relax, relax, relax. Well done. Okay, walk your hands forward, walk your feet backwards and settle down into child's pose. I'm going to recommend here a wide knee. And again, wiggle jiggle, favourite word. It's my favourite, most scientifical word. Lovely, just wiggle jiggle, side to side. Okay, and from here, we're going to really strengthen up spine and core. So your elbows remain on the floor. Curl your toes under your heels and lift your tail. So your ears line up with your shoulders. You're lifting up into, yoga would call this a dolphin pose. So it doesn't matter, you can call it whatever you like. Okay, and again, create movement here. So when we were against the wall, we were stretching out through the shoulder. So this is the lats again, and it's important to walk the knees and again, find the sweet spot. Is it nicer if you rise up onto your tiptoes and then settle back into your heels? Do you like the rotation side to side? Okay, now take your feet back just a little bit. Okay, and you're going to drop the hips and bring your shoulders forward into modified plank. You're doing really well, Pat. Okay, lovely. So we're coming forward, keeping the hips nice and aligned. Use this as a fluid movement. So we go from that lovely dolphin stretch forward into that hover and back again. Really take your time with it. Find the thing that works. Find your tipping point, the bit where you kind of go, oh, it's too far, it's too much. And then slide it backwards. Just work through this for me. This is stabilizing your shoulders and really firing up those deep core muscles. Beautiful. Inviting you to do 1 or 2 more. If it helps, we're nearly done. Lovely. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's a moment of almost collapse each time. Sit back, knees wide, child's pose, move. Okay. So just before we come into the side work, what I'd like you to do is just add some rotation here. So left arm extended on the floor, right arm feeds through to thread the needle, and then it comes out and up towards the sky. So we're just working here, so lots of rotation again through the spine. So, and I've set you in kind of a strange position here, so your front arm is leading the way in front of you. If it's too much with an extended arm, use a bent elbow, hand to ear. Lovely, and repeat on the other side. This is just prepping us again, because the next move is a side plank with a leg lift, and we're going to do this through movement. Lovely. Beautiful. Enjoy how that feels in the chest. Where are you? I was going to say, where are your boobs? Well, I know where mine are now, not necessarily where God started them. Okay, what I meant to say was, where's your hips? Do you feel more comfortable with your bum over your heels, or do you want to bring them forward a little bit? Rock and roll. Find that bit that you're kind of like, I really need to move that bit. Lovely. Now you're going to turn on your side to me. Okay. To get you into position, I need you to come down onto your forearm. Okay. And we are looking for a side plank and a leg lift. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is just feel comfortable and stable in that forearm. What does that feel like? Okay. The next thing, if you want to use your top arm, you can. You lift the hips. Okay, and then from there, arm to sky. There's your balance, okay? What you can do is just create a bit of movement. Wafting always is a distractor. So if you want to waft, you can. If you want to now straighten and lengthen the top leg, you can. So here we go. So the leg is straight and lifted. Whoop. Arm towards the sky. And waft it. And now at this point I say stick your right toe up your left nostril, and you will laugh and collapse. Right toe, left nostril, Sue. No, you're doing really well, guys. Again, this might not be your power. Your strength may not be here, but this is okay. Strengthening the side of the body is important to us. From here, you roll down onto your side. You roll onto your belly. And you roll onto the other side. Marvellous. Okay, and we're going to repeat that. So we're coming into side plank and a leg lift. So for the sake of the camera, Pat, you might just want to turn sides.
I will.
Lovely. And let's play with this again. Think about how your elbow feels. So the further your elbow is away from your hip, the more of a challenge it is. So if your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder and ear, that's a nice stable point. That's a really strong point to start from. But be mindful not to let the ear drift and sink into your shoulder. So you really need to push the ground away. From here, the hip lifts. Use your top hand if you need to. And then for balance, you might surprise yourself. The top arm lifts and then you can waft. Wafting, my favourite thing. So if you want to add in straight top leg and lengthen top leg, feel free. Did I remind you to breathe? The shoulders are really important to us. We need to keep these strong. Lovely. And we're doing that a lot when we are in the planks and so on, but we need to challenge the shoulder girdle in a slightly different position. Okay, so go flat and then onto your backs. So this is a little combo that I've pulled together because this is around the spine, okay? So it will be a reverse curl and then a bridge. That's what it looks like, feels like. Okay, so firstly, I want you to think about, oh, Pat's already doing it. Drop both knees to one side and both knees to the other. So just have a little wiggle jiggle here. Everything's about movement. Lovely. If you want to incorporate your arms to go in the opposite direction, feel free. Lovely. Okay, now set to yourself. We are coming into tabletop. That would be our starting position. So when you're ready, bring both legs up, boom, boom. Okay, now bring your knees to your chest and lift your bottom off the ground. Let's do that 4 or 5 times. So the bottom lifts. So you're using those deep, low core muscles to try and get your bum off the ground. Now I'm okay if you're using momentum here. If it's triggering, Sue, leave it. Lovely. Last time, feet come down, lift your hips into a bridge. All the way to the top of the movement. Now stay there for a moment and I want you to do 10 pulses. Go 10, 9, all nice and high. Really clench through your butt cheeks. Clench, clench, clench. Lovely. Jane, your hamstrings look beautiful. When you finish that, the bottom comes down, the knees or the feet lift, and we're going to reverse curl for 10. 10, 9, and you'll find it gets easier as you get to the bottom. Smile, Chris, it's not that bad. She's like, it is. Lovely, well done. When you've finished your 10th, feet come down. Oh, you're good, Pat. Feet come down and lift the hips again. This time when you lift the hips, get them to the top of the movement and take your feet one step away. Boom, 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 boom. Now, clench and lift. Go. 10, hello hamstrings. 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, beautiful. 2, roll the spine down. Well done. Okay, so from where you are now, lift both legs up into tabletop. Go. Breath in. Pull them up and hold. Okay, here we go. So we're going to literally put them together one on one. So bottom lifts. 1. Feet down and feet far away from bottom. Hips lift. Go. Boom. Got it. Let's do that again. Bum comes down. Lift legs. Lift bottom. Feet come down slightly further away again. Lift bottom. Good job. We're going to do that 2 more times. And each time, boom, your feet land and go further away again. Lift bottom. Last time. Lift. Feet as far away as possible so you're really on your heels and lift bottom. Well done. Bum comes down. Draw your heels in. Bring your knees into chest and give yourself a crutch. I need you to circle around the knees now. So hold on to both knees and let your hips circle in one direction then the other. Enjoy that. Well done. When you're ready, you roll onto your belly. Okay, so just for a moment, what I'd like you to do is send your hands in front of you and then come up onto your big fat stretch, big fat stretch, big fat stretch. Wiggle jiggle side to side. So allow the hips to rock side to side, the feet to rock side to side. Press into the hands. You might feel the hands stretching side to side. Okay, so what we're going to do is lift right arm in the air. Lovely, and down. Right leg in the air and down. Left leg in the air. Left arm in the air. And repeat. So go round one corner, around the quadrants, and just work through that for a moment. Okay, so it's one corner, other corner, bottom corner, other corner. If you want to, for just fun, go in the other direction. two more rounds. Beautiful. Then I quickly want you to push off the ground and settle your bottom onto your heels. Lovely. And then you're going to come forward and lie flat on your belly. Boom, 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 boom. Lovely. And push back again. So the idea is here, I'm just getting you to push off the floor, okay? So you're going to do this several times. So stretch out, lie down, stretch your arms forward, push off your arms, push backwards. Remember, this is messy movement for midlife. Each time you do this, you are creating strength and power to the front of your body. You are strengthening your arms. It's becoming more and more automatic. You're going to keep going here, please. You look good. It's always a bit of a surprise, you know, when people do this, because you don't appreciate the power you've got in your own muscles. Last time. Collapse on the floor. Lie down on the floor. And let's work through some scorpions. So it's just because this is an Old Faithful, we're really enjoying this at the moment. The idea is arms out, 3 and 9 o'clock. Back leg furthest away from me lifts. The thigh comes off the ground. The foot comes towards the hand. Well done. And then you take it down, switch sides. Pat, what a change.
I have to turn my hand that way, but that's fine for that side.
But the fact that your foot touches your hand is a good thing. Remember, this is not a pretty movement. This is about how your hips react. Well done. Last time. How'd you feel?
Hot.
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 Okay. Hot. Do I get a thumbs up? Do you get an okay? Lovely. Give yourself an okay. Lovely. Roll onto your backs. Let's just open your hip before we relax. I want you to put your front foot on your back knee and let the knee turn out. Can you ever go at dropping that foot onto one side then the other? So take it over onto the floor. Again, loads of rotational work here, but we just get stiff. And this is just trying to free up the hips and freeing up the spine. So freeing up around the ribs, freeing up around the chest. And work with it, guys. What happens if your arms are wider? What if you slow it down and find that sweet spot again? You know, the bit that makes your hips go, ah. What if the foot that's on the floor is closer to your bottom? Oh yeah, hamstrings. Nicer? Harder?
Tighter.
Tighter. When you're ready, switch sides. Really let that knee drop out. Beautiful. Da, da, da. Beautiful. Enjoy it. Okay. Now, I want you to bring the soles of both feet together. Allow the knees to relax. And then to take your arms overhead and rest your fingers behind the back of your head or on the floor behind you, but I want you to open up the body and allow the arms to relax. Now this will take a few moments, okay? So what I want you to do is breathe through this. Look, if you've got any injuries, you adapt. Breathe. Now I want you, remember we started this about listening. Are you tight in your bum and inner thighs right now? Could you let it go a little bit more? Are you consciously holding in your belly? And see if the muscles will just let you drop a little bit further. And this is you listening. Where am I holding this tension? How do my knees feel? How do my inner thighs feel? Are my buttocks so tight? Because I'm holding tension there. Can I just let it just drop off a little bit more? Can I let my shoulders drop a little deeper? Listen, just listen to your body. What can I adjust to allow the inner thigh to stretch further? Do I need to relax my shoulders now? Do I need to walk my shoulder blades further down my body to enable my hips to open further? Lovely. When you're ready, now make yourself comfortable into a position that you enjoy to help you de-stress. Maybe seated, or lying. And as ever, we always start with breath. Allow that breath to travel. Now listen to your breath today. That is our message. Listen to the breath. Listen to your own breath traveling through your nostrils. Listen to your own breath through the back of your throat. Listen to how your breath travels through your body. Now listen to your heels. Are they comfortable? Can you adjust them? And your ankles and your thighs. What's your body telling you? Listen to the hips, the spine and the shoulders. Adjust. Where's your comfort? Where's the back of the head? Where's the chin? Listen to the face. Is there tension around your eyebrows? Are you holding stress in the body? When you can, just listen to yourself and let it go. Now what I want you to do is, as you breathe in, I want you to feel this cascade of love and joy just literally pour all over you. I just want you to breathe in all the joy. Just bring it in. I want you to purposely put a smile on your face, because subconsciously you are bringing in that happiness. Bring in that liquid sunshine. Why do we call it liquid sunshine? I think that's a different phrase. Bring in that sunshine. Bring in the lightness and the brightness of summer. The blue sky and the green leaves. Bring in the kindness and the goodness. Because you are strong. You are stronger than you believe. And it is important to believe in yourself, to recognize how far you've come. And your journey is you appreciating every milestone and marker in your days, in your life, in your world, in your relationships, and how far you've come. And all that knowledge and experience you bring with you. And how you love to share all that goodness. Because you're important. And you are making a difference. And you are worthy. And you are so loved. But you need to believe that. And it might be that you repeat in your mind's eye, or you actually say it out loud. I am loved. I am strong. I am worthy. I am kind. And you're great. Now from here, I'd like you to send your arms overhead into a big fat stretch. Cross one leg over the other and just go long and wiggle jiggle side to side. Ooh. Uncross and recross. Uncross and recross. Do it again. And again. Lovely. Well done. Roll onto your side. Beautiful. Push yourself up onto your side, but we're going onto all fours before we rise. Lovely. Just wrist bone load here for a moment, so just shift your weight forward and backwards over your wrists. Well done. Curl your toes under your heels. Lift your tail, lift your knees. Wake up your body, go for a little walk with your knees. Well done. Walk your hands back to your feet. Lovely. Keep pumping your heels. Because you're amazing, right? Bring your hands to the top of your knees. Straighten out your back. Yeah, thumbs up. Good stuff. Roll up through the back, chin to chest. Pump your feet at the top of the movement. Well done. Take your arms out wide. Lift them up into a high V. Turn your palms down and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let's do that again. Palms up into a high V. Rise up onto your tiptoes. You are amazing. You are top of the world. Bring your hands back down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Settle your feet to the ground and give yourselves